everyone, it's Kelly, and today on the 11th day of Christmas, I would like to share with you the 11 book series that I have started and would like to finish in 2019. So these are all books that I had read the first and maybe the second in the series in 2018, and I really want to be getting better at finishing series instead of like dragging them out. So I would like to finish all of these in 2019, but I don't know when during the year, but I just want by the end of this year to have these complete. So I'm going to start out with the 6 ones I don't own the next books, so I'll probably be getting these from the library or as ebooks or audiobooks, and I'll put pictures of them here. So the first one is the Shadow and Bone trilogy, or the Grishaverse, however they call the whole trilogy, by Leigh Bardugo. And I read just the first one in the series, Shadow and Bone, way at the beginning of 2018, and I didn't love it. It was in the middle for me, but I do want to continue because I want to read Six of Crows and that duology, and I just think I would like to have the basis of the Grishaverse first, and I just want to see what happens because people talk about it all the time. I did make it actually like maybe halfway through the second one, right after reading the first, but I put it down to do some other stuff, and now I don't really remember, so I do want to go back and read through the whole second one and finish out the trilogy this year. And the next one is the Palace Chronicles by Margaret, Peterson, Haddix. And these are middle grade fantasy kind of, I don't know, princess fairy tale kind of books. And there's 3 of them in the trilogy, and I read the first 2. And I believe the first 2 were Just Ella and Palace of Lies. I don't know for sure, because the second and the third are Palace and Lies and Palace of Mirrors, and I can't remember which one's which. But I read the first and the second in the trilogy and would like to finish out the third, which shouldn't be hard because these are really quick middle grade books. The next one is the To All the Boys I Loved Before trilogy by Jenny Han. This is a contemporary YA trilogy that's all about Laura Jean and how she wrote letters to the boys that she had loved before, her crushes, and then they got out in the universe to her crushes. And I have read the first book in the series and part of the second. I kind of wanted to know where it was going, but then I got doing other stuff and never finished the trilogy. So I would like to see what happens as we keep going. The next one is the Shades of Magic trilogy by V.E. Schwab. And for this one, I only read the first one, which is A Darker Shade of Magic. And this is I guess it's supposed to be an adult fantasy, but to me it read very YA, but we'll say it's an adult fantasy about somebody who can travel through different worlds, different versions of London. I didn't love the first one, but I do want to kind of see where it goes. I've heard it gets better as it goes, so I would like to read the last 2 in the series. And the next one is just a duology. I want to read The Great Pursuit by Wendy Higgins. This is just the second, like I said, in a duology. The first one was called The Great Hunt, which was kind of a like romantic fantasy YA book. Like I guess you would just call it a fantasy YA book, but it is very heavy on the romance. So I think it would only be a fantasy people that also like romance would like. And like I said, there's just 2 books, and I just want to see what happens because the first one kind of ends wanting to know more. And then the last one that I don't own is the Gemma Doyle trilogy by Libba Bray. And that I read the first 2, which were Great and Terrible Beauty and Rebel Angels. And this is a paranormal book that's like historical fiction because it takes place in the 1800s, I believe, in the Victorian age. And so I just want to finish that out. I just want to read the third. I'm not like obsessed with this one. It's like okay and entertaining, so I just kind of want to see what happens on the last one, and I'll probably listen to this one on audiobook because it's kind of good background sound. And the rest of these I all own at least the next book in the series, so I'll show you those. And the next one is The Forbidden Library 2, The Mad Apprentice by Django Wexler. And this is a middle grade fantasy book about a forbidden library, and I really enjoyed the first one. It was fun and cute and charming. So I'd like to continue on. There is one more after this that's out, but I don't own it, so I might continue and try to finish the third one that's out from the library, and I'm not sure if there's a 4th one. Next one is a longer series. It's a mystery series taking place in kind of like the 1800s, and it is just kind of like a detective mystery called the Charles Lenox Mysteries. I have read, I don't even know how many there are. I think I've read the first 8 maybe. And I have the next 3, which are Home by Nightfall, The Laws of Murder, and I think the next one is called The Inheritance, but my mom is borrowing it. So I have these 3. This is an ongoing series, so I won't be finishing it, but I want to get back up to date so I'm not like way behind in it. And then the next one is the Study series, I think it's called. And right now it started out as a trilogy and then has added more to it. So I want to at least finish the trilogy and then hopefully continue. I don't know how many there are total. And it's by Maria V. Snyder. I have Magic Study and Fire Study. This is a fantasy book, and I really loved the first one, which was Poison Study. So I would like to continue this, and if I really like the conclusion of these 3, then I will continue and see what the other study books are. And then the next one is the Queen's Thief series by Megan Wallen Turner. I am planning on reading, if you watch my January TBR, The Queen of Atolia in January, and then continuing on to The King of Atolia and A Conspiracy of Kings. And there is another one out, but it's newer, and so I'd have to get it from the library if I continue and finish the whole series. And these are fantasy books following a thief, and I enjoyed the first one enough that I want to keep on to the series. And the last one is the Sherlock Holmes mysteries. I have read 2 of these so far. I have read the first one, A Study in Scarlet, and then The Hound of the Baskervilles, which is somewhere in the middle of the series. So I would like to read all of the novellas and the short story collections throughout the year of 2019. So those are 11 of the series that I would like to finish. If there's one that you really enjoyed, let me know down below and I'll try to get to that one and finish it first. All right, I hope you are enjoying January. Bye.